Hey everybody, welcome to GMG Review. Today we're taking a look at Warhammer 40,000 Crusade Mission Pack Catastrophe, which is an interesting name for something that is a bit Triumph and Treachery-y. This is multiplayer Crusade rules, so how to play Crusade missions with 3 to 4 players, and a sort of like core mechanic change in order to do so. It's called Treachery and Honor, which in old Warhammer Fantasy Battle terms was called Triumph and Treachery. And the idea here is that you can have party games. You can play as part of your Crusade narrative missions that accommodate more than one player. And for Crusade players who like playing narrative missions, I feel like this is a no-brainer and a great inclusion into the roster. So the last one of these we saw Planet Strike, which was asymmetrical attacker defenders coming from the sky, going into emplacements, sort of fortification-driven ones. This one is all about handling more than one player in the game, or so more than one set of opponents basically in the game. So number of players, 3 to 4 in this mission pack. You don't have larger than that, but you could probably jury-rig these rules to take it into account. And for the like core mechanics of the game, in order to handle that, you get some quick rules here. So first one is Crusade Blessings. When you determine how many command points you get, you also gain Crusade Blessings, which are compared to each player's Crusade point total. And you get basically extra blessings ranked by how many of the Crusade Blessings points that you have. The turn order you bid for. So as opposed to just having the players going back and forth over the course of the game, it's a little more Age of Sigmar-y, where you take a number of points or a number of command points you want to bid for the turn. If it's 0, you have 1. And then you place them in your hand, you reveal them all at the same time, and you roll a number of d6s equal to 1 plus your command point bid, and pick the highest die. Now, if you're tied, so let's say there's 3 players and they all roll 6, 5, 1. The player who rolled 1 would go last during the course of the turn. The 2 players who rolled 6, the person who bid the most command points breaks that tie, and I believe if they are still tied, they roll off to break it. So you have the ability to influence going first during the turn by bidding CPs, and then you go round robin based highest to lowest, and that's called the current turn order. And it can change each round. Then the battlefield, you need a bigger table typically, so it'll give you some instructions on that. And then the alliance step, people can make alliances before the start of each battle round. And during that step, players may wish to discuss their plans for the battle round, make alliances, and propose deals. Players can barter in-game favors, command points, or whatever else they deem necessary with the other players. Players can even attempt to bribe their opponents into swapping positions in the turn order, and you're encouraged to be creative with your machinations. At the end of these steps, players generate underdog points. They can be spent on additional underdog, almost like stratagems. The fight phase, however, is literally just the Age of Sigmar one. So because there's not 2 players going, fighting happens one at a time in order. So starting with the player's turn, who's first in the turn order, players alternate selecting units that can fight first in the phase. And then once all units that can fight have fought, players alternate selecting any remaining units to fight proceeding in turn order. So that means that like if there's four players in a turn, that means that the battle round has 4 turns in it as opposed to normally 2 turns. You can have a battle round where a unit it's in melee could fight like 4 times, right, going around in a circle. So it's kind of interesting. It does make melee a lot more like blendery, which is good because in multiplayer games that helps speed things up too. Fighting first or last. Some rules allow you to fight first in the fight phase, even if they didn't make a charge move. If more than one player has this or similar rules, you alternate selecting units that can do that based on the turn order as well. And then during the morale phase, players alternate taking morale tests as normal, but this is done in turn order, starting with the player whose turn is taking place. Finally, the underdogs. If any of the following 3 things apply, you gain an underdog point for the turn, or the battle round rather. At the end of each alliance step, each player generates an underdog point for each of the following that applies. The person going last in the turn order gets 1. In the second and subsequent battle rounds, the player with the fewest victory points gains 1, and if they're tied, all of them get 1. And then the total combined power rating of units destroyed that have been destroyed is greater than any other player. So the person who's lost the most units gets 1. And you get to do the following things. So command boon, gain extra CP for 1. Smoke canisters, gain light cover for a unit in your army for 1. Dig in, unit gains heavy cover for 1. Until the end of the battle round, each time a melee attack is made against a unit from this player's army, the unit's treated as having the benefits of heavy cover. So all your units in your army for 1 gain this. For 1, Defiant Speech. Until the start of the next turn, all your combat attrition tests are automatically made, like passed. Command Network Boost for 1 CP. All of your auras go up 3 inches in range. Battle Against the Odd for 1, sorry, not CP, but underdog point. If your army gains any marks or tallies, you get an additional one, so you earn extra experience and stuff. And then Bloodied but Unbroken, during the update experience point, you can nominate additional model to be marked for greatness for 3 CPs, or 3 underdog points. And then new requisitions, you can become honorable or treacherous in nature. Now, once you have one of these marks, though, if you're an honorable unit or treacherous unit, you can never change it. And at the beginning of each game, you can get one of these for free and nominate someone who's honorable and treacherous. It gives you additional battle traits, so you can learn these ones, like coordinated firepower. You can be an honorable duelist, getting +1 to hit and stuff. And then staunch in the face of treachery. While seen within 6 of an enemy unit, each time a combat attrition test is taken, you're automatically passed. Backstabbers, distrustful nobility, an aura of mistrust. So you have a 3-inch -2 leadership aura for your unit. And these can all be learned when you get a battle trait. And then extra stratagems that you can do if you're honorable or treacherous. So like stand firm. This is a cool one for 1 CP. If your honorable unit passes a test, from now on, all units within 6 of that honorable unit will automatically pass morale tests. So they see the honorable unit do something cool, and they get a 6-inch aura of making everyone else pass too. New agendas for your honorable and treacherous units, like Blades in the Dark for treacherous ones, Paragons of Virtue for the honorable ones, so new ways to get CPs. And then your mission back. So this doesn't change much because it's just for having your extra armies go. And the combat patrol based one. So here we have all of the examples. Every map is a 3 or 4 player map. You can see here it's 4, I guess, like tiles, 4 like kill team tiles big for the player map usually. And then they do get bigger as the game gets bigger. So these are for combat patrol. You need a full-size battlefield basically for combat patrol. And then once you get to the next game size, incursion, it's still the same. And then when you get to incursion size, the battlefield stays the same. So a 25 goes to 50 power. And after that, when you get to strike force, we're going on a huge table now. So much, much bigger. I think these ones are 4, like an additional 2 tiles on the end. So we're talking about like, this would be the normal table size, and it's an additional 2 kill team boards, big, to make it a big enough one. So we're talking, if it's 60 by 44, we're talking about 90 by 44. So 18 inches bigger than a 6-foot table. So like a 8-foot table basically, like with 6 inches on the side. So you need an 8-foot board basically to play these maps as recommended, and 6 of the kill team tiles. And then when it goes super mega ultra big into Onslaught, they actually add it to be like wide a different way. So it's 2. It's like, so it's 3 across kill team tiles, and then 3 more or 4 more along here. Sorry, 3 more around here. So it gets huge basically. It's quite large. So it's going to be, oh geez, that's 12 plus. It's hard to actually tell these measurements. These are 20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90 across by, that's 10, that's 20, probably 30, 60 deep, 60 by 90. Big, basically, at that size. And then your usual stuff, you got your core rules again in the back, and that's it. Once again, you got your train rules, train features, train traits, but no adding in. Yeah, no, it's got the Q&A, so this is kind of cool actually. Common train, it's got rules for objective markers and rare rules, but nothing for the actual Core Crusade rules yet again. And that's it. Mission Pack Catastrophe. So if you're looking to do some multiplayer games of 40K, this is a 3 to 4 player mission pack. Not for match play though, for using Power and for using Crusade. I'm sure you could, if you wanted to, like just basically take these rules and apply match play rules to them. But you're gonna lose out on, I guess you would keep the underdog rules, you would lose out on the cool honorable and dishonorable or untrustworthy additional stuff. but you could modify what's in here too if you want to do some match play games of larger sort of size stuff. But obviously multiplayer games, they do kind of lend themselves, I think, best to narrative gaming, and that's where it's landed. So this is our second book in kind of like the more non-traditional game formats for 40K in Crusade. And it looks cool. I mean, I don't get the chance very often to get more than 2 people together, but I feel like if you are running a store event especially, and one person doesn't have an opponent, this is a great way of getting that extra person on the table to play some games for your Crusade night if you're running a Crusade. So you go. Big thanks for Games Workshop sending a free sample along for us to check out, and for you guys for watching. Thanks, Alan Ash. Have a good night. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continue to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.